Now to that breaking news in Kansas City.
KMBC 9's Jackson Kurtz is on the scene of a deadly shooting in the Northland. And Jackson, what are you seeing on Northeast 75th? And you're also talking to Captain Jake Bekina. Oh, let's go.
Actually called on a shooting call here to a residence that's behind us here in the 7800 block of Northeast 75th Court. The shooting call involved a male who was shot and down in the front yard of a residence. Neighbors heard the sound of gunshots. They looked out and saw him down. When police arrived, they did in fact find him unresponsive in front of a residence there. Some of the neighbors were out there as well, rendering aid. EMS responded here. They transported the victim to the hospital, where he was subsequently declared deceased by medical personnel there at the hospital. Very preliminary information that we have right now, based on some witness accounts, is that there was an interaction with the victim and one or more suspects here in the street in front of a residence. The details of the interaction detectives are still working through. We have homicide detectives here now. They are knocking on doors looking for any witnesses, hoping to review any camera footage and give them a little bit more information about maybe what led up to this shooting. They will also be working with the crime scene investigators who will be responding here to process all of the evidence, forensic evidence and any other evidence that's here at the scene that would hopefully give them more information right now in this early stage of the investigation.
Still looking for one or two suspects right now?
Unknown for sure the exact number, but we know it's at least one, potentially multiple suspects that were part of this interaction that led to the gunfire. As far as how many fired or how many were directly responsible, detectives will be working to figure that out. One of the other questions that they want to answer, obviously, is the the victim's identity. That will give them a lot of information about whether or not this is somebody who lives nearby here or just happened to be here on this street, and that will lead their investigation to whichever direction they need to go.
A lot of neighbors have been saying that these may have been teenagers. Do we know that confirmed?
Yeah, so we don't know an age. It's definitely a teen or young adult would be the best guess on the age of the victim at this point in time. They don't have a confirmed identity just yet, and they're still going to be working with detectives at the hospital to work through that process.
I saw a helicopter and a dog too. Is there a danger to the neighborhood, or is this kind of like a...
Yeah, not directly. We believe that any involved suspects have fled the scene, have gotten out of the area. Generally, in a situation like this, a lot of officers will come to this area. They will kind of coordinated, look around neighboring blocks, work through any witness accounts of maybe what they may have seen, really just to kind of see if they see anything that kind of stands out, the potential evidence or anything that can help those detectives in the early stages. Yeah.
A lot of neighbors shocked. This happened middle of the day.
All right, we're going to let Jackson Kurtz continue that interview with Captain Jake Bekina with KCPD. We will continue to follow both of these breaking news stories on KMBC 9 News at 5. Keep it here as we work to learn the latest information.